The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Watch your slap, watch your slap, watch your slap.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Michel. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Trubisky. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Well, the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
15 yards on the play, 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a 1st down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. Now it's Hines, and he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nyheim Hines, his 9th touchdown of the season, and they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
On the ground is Michel. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Brings up second and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Off the draw, here's Michel. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. On third down, Trubisky. And that will be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Well, here's a first down throw that's complete. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Patriots take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. On the ground, Michel. And he's got this down to the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What, is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Keeping it on the ground on first, Michel. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
2nd and 5 now. Trubisky toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll run it. This is Michel. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Trubisky and the troops staying out there. They will go for it.
Mike 96, Mike 96. Smooth.
They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. Buying time, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Harold Landry, and this Browns defense stands tall. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. That's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
52. Block 52. 52's the mic. Hey, watch the ball.
From the gun, Mayfield. That's taken in by Callaway. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. That seemed to be linebacking 101 on how to diagnose and stop a run.
And what we're doing nowadays is we're taking those former safeties, those bigger guys, and making them linebackers to utilize their speed. He just made an absolute beeline after he diagnosed that play and ended up making a nice tackle on it.
That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Patriots take over. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. New England on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the Patriots' 35-yard line.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nyheim Hines with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now it's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Rashawn Gary, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky.
I got you. 56. Mike, 56.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Hey, watch the slant. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step it up.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. He gets it to Brown, complete. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
52, Mike, 52.
Hey, tighten down.
Mayfield to throw it this time. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
alert! Alert, alert! Stop!
After the interception, here's Trubisky. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
All day, baby, all day.
Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Eric Sauber, as time expires in the first half, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be first and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. And that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. The Browns' drive about to get started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
180! Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
First down, Mayfield. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now, after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10.
You.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
52's the mark.
Throwing, Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
180!
52's the mark. Hey, here we go.
On 1st down, it's Hunt. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
180! Come on now. Check 4. Regular.
They'll run on 1st down. Hines. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mayfield. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Let's get it. 180. Heavy on the edges. Heavy on the edges.
Play fake. Mayfield. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll try to run with Hunt, and this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Check girls, check girls.
They'll try to run with Hines. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nyheim Hines, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Elliott Good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee, Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Michel. Oh, the ball is out. Michel lost it. There, this is picked up by the Browns. Then he will take it across midfield and down to the 45.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
On 2nd down, Michel, nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Hey, Haywood.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Forced out to his left. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. Now the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Right. Point it right.
Even. 4 down. Even.
Throwing again on second down. Mayfield. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Bradley Chubb, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
Hey. We got 3.
They go play action. Mayfield. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If they needed a break, they needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now Trubisky to throw. Complete to Dorsett. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, Michelle. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Trubisky. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. Now they're going with a screen here out to the right. And he's got this down to the 35. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16. Trubisky now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, they run with Michelle. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Akeem Hicks that time on the tackle.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. New England on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 14. Now it's Trubisky. Being chased out left. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
He can run for it, and he will. Now Trubisky lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing is ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
First down.
180. 52.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Mayfield on first down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 39 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's Trubisky. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. New England on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Alert, 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 alert.
Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
1st down, Browns.
So not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He'll buy some time right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
2nd and a yard at the 25-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 19 yards away. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
23-yard line.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end? Now Trubisky lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Trubisky will throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down.
58, exit, 52. Watch the screen.
From the gun, Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. To throw again on second down. Trubisky. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Trey Flowers picks it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52.
So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over.